Alright, what is up everybody? Welcome back to another video. We are working on our NPCs. So let's just keep going. In the last video we set up some roaming. So we can see that our enemy or our NPC is roaming around there in the background. So I think we should set up, like, if I get close to him, he should start to chase us. So we're gonna assume it's a enemy AI. So we have this has roaming behavior. So we're gonna go to our NPC details. Actually, our struct. We're gonna add another variable called detection range. And gonna add a to the component here in the enums folder, the faction. So these will be our factions, basically. So we might have allied NPCs as well. I'm just gonna do one called player. Just gonna do none by default. I like to start with one for none. We're gonna have player, enemy, player, yeah, I don't know. You call yours whatever you want to. I assume you're making a game, so you could have different factions or whatever. Undead, forest people, bandits, yada yada yada. And decide which ones fight which ones. I'm just gonna do player and enemy for now. We're gonna add that to our detail structs as well. Faction. So yeah, that's fine. Let's go into our NPC again. And it all kind of depends like how we want to set it up. I usually don't do behavior trees, so I'm probably not gonna do this either. Because it's not that complicated and it's not like a million tasks that we need to do, and I'm not gonna do the most advanced AI in the world. So I'm just gonna go for a pretty standard like utility / state driven AI system. So we're gonna have a custom event called behavior tick. Server. It's always gonna run on server anyway, but I'm just gonna keep calling the function server. So basically we want to make this AI look for the player basically. So we're gonna make, you could do a you could add to the AI, you could add like pawn sensing and stuff like that, and that's all fine. It's built-in stuff that works fine. It's been proven, so feel free to use that. There's a million things out there, million tutorials out there about that. I'm pretty much gonna make my own type of system for it because I don't need a lot. I just want to check if we're inside this range, if we're the correct faction, and so on. And I don't want to do it every tick, I just want to do it every now and then. Depends on the game, obviously, but maybe 2 or 3 or 4 times a second or something. So not gonna be super expensive. So there's a couple of ways to do it also. We could either we could do it with tracing, or we could find the player with by just keeping track of all the actors. The cheaper way of doing it is to keep track of all the actors all the time. But I'm gonna show you how 2 different ways to do it. So I'm gonna start by doing tracing, and then we will replace it with a, in my opinion, better way of doing it. But it's also not more complicated, but requires a bit more setup from the ground. But we're gonna make a new function called find enemies in range. No, find closest enemy. So in this function, I'm gonna do a multi-sphere trace by channel, get actor location, get owner, get actor location, start, end, and this will be the range. And we already have the details, right? So detection range. So I'm just gonna set it to something like 1000, maybe a bit more, 1500. We're gonna set this one to enemy action. And then we're gonna do for each loop. Actually, I'm gonna make 2 functions for this. I'm gonna find closest enemy and find actors in range. Then I'm gonna take this and move it to the find actors in range. We're gonna do find enemies in range. So there might be situations where we might not always want the closest one. We might want other ones sometimes. So we're gonna do find enemies in range and find closest enemy. And we're gonna do the radius will be the range, like so. We're gonna break. Gonna add a return node. Gonna make a new variable called all enemies that will be an array of actors. Gonna array of actors, there we go. And then we're gonna duplicate it and call current target be a not array, an actor single. There we go. So now we're gonna use the faction. So open the need a new interface here for specifically AI stuff. Blueprints interface, BI PC component. I mean, not really though. Combat general, no. Let's delete this for now. Up. I'm not sure if I should have a general component or like, I mean, this might as well be on the NPC. Let me pause 1 second. Yeah, I'm just gonna, to avoid confusion here, we have BI combat component, that's for the player. Then we're gonna do BI NPC component, that is for the NPC. Just to keep it easier. Because like the lock-on widget, I mean, I guess we might want to lock onto other players if we do PvP. Or we're not gonna worry about that for now. Gonna do but we do want to get factions from everything actually. This is where you plan stuff ahead. BI general, not combat general. General in general. Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's how you want to structure it. It's always annoying to plan stuff like that because it depends on the game and it's very hard to plan for like a general tutorial because it very much depends on how your game looks. So I need to do it fairly generic. But yeah, let's just go from here. I'm gonna do BI general. It's gonna be get faction output faction. So this one should be, because it's general functions, right? So it's shared function between the NPC and the combat component. So we want to add BI general here to the combat component. And now we have this get faction function here. And for the combat component, we know that this one will always belong to a player. This one will never be on an NPC, so this one can always just return player. But for the NPC, this one, we need to add the interface here as well. It's not updated yet, but it's this one. So faction, and here we will do NPC details, and then we can get faction. So now here on this hit actor in this trace here, we can do get faction, which is the interface function we just made. And if it's not equal to the faction of the NPC, we are an enemy. And that means that we can take this all elements in range. Can do contains item. I'm just gonna, to make it easier and a little bit cleaner, I'm just gonna promote this one to a local variable. Current actor in loop. And I can add this one here. So now we're gonna do a check here. If this all enemies in range, if this contains the current actor in loop, we don't want to add it again. You could probably do add unique, but I prefer to do it like this. You can do and boolean here. Like so. This is always a bit confusing. Let me just make sure. So if the faction is not equal and this does not contain the current target, if that's true, we're gonna, no, sorry, current actor in loop, not current target here. In that case, we're gonna add. So this does not need a return node. Okay, hope that made sense. So that means that in our behavior graph on this tick, we're now gonna find enemies in range. We're gonna get the NPC details. And the reason I expose this here is because we might want to do this for custom ranges with other scenarios in other times. But we're constantly going to be looking for all enemies in range on this tick. Then we want to find the closest one. So to find the closest one, we will get all enemies in range for each. Gonna break. No, we're gonna get distance too. We're gonna take our owner. Create a local variable called closest range. So when this function starts, we're gonna set this to something like 10,000. So we're gonna try to find something that is closer than 10,000. So if this range here is less than the closest range, so if this distance between our NPC and the current actor in loop here, current actor in loop, just promote it to a local variable. I like to do that just to keep stuff clean. That means that the current actor in loop is now another local variable. Current actor in loop is now the closest actor, and the new closest range is now this. like so. Something like that. So that's just gonna keep looping until it went through all of this. It's gonna always find the next actor that is closer than this one. So when it ends, we're gonna output the closest actor. And we're gonna change this. We're gonna pull this one through. And rename this to find closest actor because it can be used for other stuff in the future. And target array. Current closest actor, because this one can't be named the same as the output here. We're gonna plug in the current closest actor here. So this function now returns, takes in an array and then returns the closest one of those actors. And we know here we want to use this one. And we can also do this, actually add a return node here. Make an array of actors. Call it found actors. And just plug this in here. So we have it there. So it's a little bit cleaner to just plug it in like that. And then we can set the current target. And now just to show you, we don't want to use tick for this, but just to show you, behavior server behavior tick. So this is gonna tick it. I'm gonna do a debug there so we can see it's actually triggering. So you can see they are now searching for players inside of that range. We can see. So what we're gonna do now is just to show you. If current target is valid, we're gonna AI move to goal actor, get AI controller, so now if I get inside of this range, that did not work. Let's find out why. Server behavior tick. Is this being set? Found. Just debugging a little bit here. Okay, it is valid. I'm gonna print string what it actually is. Floor, that is not correct. We actually need to, with this faction here, gonna add another check so that it's not equal by none. So none is the default. So whenever something does not have a faction, it's gonna be none. So it shouldn't find the floor anymore, which it does. I mean, let's multi-sphere trace for objects. So let's change it to be pawn. And we're gonna switch these out. And that's more performant as well. So now it's not valid. But it's still not valid. Okay, interesting. That is because we're doing it the wrong way. Some of you might have caught this, but we need to actually go into our player, have a look at the tag here, combat. So we need to find component by tag, combat, and it's from this one that we need to actually get the faction. And it's this one that also should be there. Lots of errors. It's easy to make small errors. So, faction is not equal to none. It's not equal to ourselves. And it doesn't already contain it. Is that fine? Let's see if that works. The trace is sitting. Yeah, so we do get player. So that is correct. I'm just gonna do this one step at a time. There we go. Just to avoid confusion. There we go. Now it works. Okay, so we look for the faction on the component. Make sure it's only added if it's already there. So we know that this one is correct now. So we should reach here. We do not. know that our players added here because that was triggering. So what is the actual output here then? None. Nothing. Okay, that is interesting. Let me pause and see what's going on here. Yeah, alright, I'm back. When I disconnected this, I accidentally disconnected this as well, so that's why it didn't work. So this needs to be connected, current actor in loop. So that means that we should go here and should now find this. Should now be the current target. Okay, one step out of there. Whew! This is mildly annoying. Let me just pause and set this up because this video is dragging out now. Alright, I am back. Silly mistake. These were swapped around. So this one needs to be less than closest range. The closest range can't be closer than this, so that's why it didn't work. So that means, let's delete this. So we exit here. This will always be the current target. There we go. So we can now see that the target is the sandbox character. So that is nice. Just gonna stop roaming, make sure that's not interfering. So that is triggering. Do have a nav mesh, so let's just figure out why we aren't actually moving here. Ah, okay, get AI controller needs a input actor. I think I can just do this. Get controller, no? No, it has to be AI controller. He's trying to move to me. So we are closer. Let's replace. I'm not sure because it's test setup, right? So it might be that we're triggering this too quickly for it to happen. But let me pause again. All right, and I'm back. I realized for the roaming we use this one, AI move to. probably a reason, because that seems to work. So it's probably that we're inside of a component or something, and the other way didn't work. So this works. So now, if I enter this, it starts chasing us. So that is perfect. So this video dragged out. It's already 35 minutes. So we're gonna pause here and we're gonna keep working on this in the next one. So I will see you in that one. See you.